Hello, my name is Rita Davis, and I am the Director for Adult and Career Education. I am so grateful to be in this role and to have this opportunity to work alongside a highly talented group of teachers and staff members, both in our schools and in our department. Whether you are new to CTE or a veteran teacher, I hope this training will help you to better understand the policies and procedures related to industry certifications. The CTE team has also included information on key CTE resources. Let's talk a little bit about our session takeaways. Our goal for today is that you will have the following takeaways. You will better understand teacher certification rules as they relate to industry certification. Also, the certification rules for your students. We're also going to go over rules for proctoring an industry certification test. We would like to share and help you on how to react when there's a testing issue. And we're also going to show you tracking student certification using the tracking sheets, which are created and managed by Career and Tech Ed. And then for the resources, we want you to feel comfortable navigating the CTE website.
My name is Nicole Bailey. I'm a teacher on assignment in Career and Tech Ed, and I just wanted to cover some basic CTE terminology that we use and that you'll hear us use and see in presentations throughout the year. First of all, we are under ACE, the Adult and Career Education. That is the department that houses Career and Tech Ed as well as Adult Ed. So you all are part of CTE, which is the Career and Tech Ed subdivision of Adult and Career Education. To shorten things, industry certification, we abbreviate that usually with the letters IC. CAPE funds and CAPE industry certifications are words you'll hear, and CAPE stands for the Florida Career and Professional Education Act, and offering industry certifications in your courses can allow you to earn CAPE funds for your programs. Again, my name is Nicole Bailey. I'm a teacher on assignment, which stands for, or TOA, we have that as an abbreviation. Mary Graham and Jeremy Bailey are also TOAs. Another term that we use is Certified Testing Agency, a CTA. That includes like Certiport, CIW, the different platforms that you offer certifications on. And then CTC stands for Career Themed Course, and we'll talk more about that in our presentation. And Brandy?
Hi, everyone. I'm Brandy Fulgham. I'm a career specialist in CTE. I work right alongside with Kelly Thawley, and I'd like to give you a brief introduction of our CTE team. So, of course, we have Rita Davis, the director of CTE, and then listed up above, we have Jeremy Bailey, Nicole Bailey, and Mary Graham. They're our teachers on assignment, and the areas that they oversee for the career clusters are listed right below. Myself and Kelly oversee work-based learning experiences, OJT internships, and we have Juan Mejia. So Juan mostly communicates with our school techs to make sure that the technology is working and functioning properly. And we have Sam Ackerson, who enters the information from the tracking sheets into Focus. And she will also help register your courses as career-themed courses. So we'll discuss more of that into the training. And as for in-service CTE trainings, CTE understands that this information is probably not going to be used for months for some of you. So with everything going on, we've created a few courses that will be offered throughout the year to help refresh your memory, and you'll be able to earn in-service credit points for these. And listed here are some items for the teacher and proctor checklist. So once you've read through the policies and procedures and familiarized yourself with testing processes and tracking sheets, you'll be able to take the quiz and email all these forms to Samantha Ackerson. All items listed can be found on our website listed here at www.leeschools.net/CTE.
Now we'll get into our policies and procedures. First of all, in our career and tech ed, we offer industry certifications to all of our students, and that's a way for us to provide funding for your programs and to prepare our students for after they graduate high school, either going to college or into the workforce. So if you'll advance 2 slides, thank you. For teachers, if you're going to offer an industry certification, you must hold the most current certification that you're offering before your students are allowed to prepare for the certification. You need to submit proof of your industry certification to CTE using the 22-23 industry certification intent form. With this form, we see your certificate, not a school report. We see your certificate, and then we take that and we use that to register your course as a career themed course, and that allows you to offer that and earn the funds. If you're a new teacher to CTE, you must contact one of the TOAs, Jeremy, Mary, or myself, and we will proctor the certification exam for you. If you're an existing CTE teacher and you already have a certification, you may test at your school, but new teachers, you need to test with us. Just like our students have to prove that they have knowledge of the certification before they sit for it, you must also display a level of proficiency before you sit down for the exam. We have practice exams available for you as well, and we require an 80% or higher on 3 of those. So if you would like, you can pause this presentation now and link to the presentation, and you can click that industry certification intent form at the bottom, and you can upload a copy of your certificate there. All right, also teachers, if you need to retake an exam, you must abide by the certification agency rules. You do not have to wait the 20 days like the students do. You just have to wait however long the certification agency requires you. Once you take an exam and you pass it, you are not allowed to retake it. You don't get to try for a higher score. You just get to take it the one time. As a teacher, when you're taking an exam, you must be proctored at all times. Again, if you're a new CTE teacher, you need to contact one of the TOAs. If you're already a CTE teacher holding a current certification and you want to update or take a new one, you can have someone at your school proctor you who's been qualified to be a proctor. You cannot take any aids or any notes or any pictures or recordings while you're in there at the test. You should leave your cell phone off the desk away from you, probably with the proctor is best. And if there's any suspicion or unethical testing practices, we are required to report that immediately. And Jeremy.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Jeremy Bailey. I'm a career and technical education teacher on assignment. I'll be talking about the student certification. So only students that have signed the code of conduct, may create curriculum or exam accounts with the certifying agency, i.e. examples there, Certiport, uCertify, and so on and so forth. Students will prepare for the certification by taking 3 practice tests and scoring a minimum of 80% on those tests. There's the industry's tracking Google Sheet. Once again, those must be recorded so that we know that the students have completed that prior to testing. Students who are not testing may be in the same room with student, may not be in the same room as students taking tests. Okay, so we don't want them to see answers, no sharing answers. That could be test compromise. That could be very bad. So please don't have any students not testing in the testing lab. Student certification exams must be proctored by their school's technology specialist, instructional technology specialist, testing coordinator, or other approved proctor. Some agencies do require special rules in order to become an authorized proctor for those certifying agencies. So make sure if you don't know that, reach out to one of us. We can give you that information. See Florida Rule A6A-8 6.0573. That is the link there where you can see that. Okay, 20 days. This is the part that students, if they fail, 20 days is the minimum to retest. So on the 21st day after, if they by chance fail, that's when they can retest. Unless, of course, the certifying agency has a more stringent waiting period for that. So make sure you know those rules as well. And there's the Florida rule right there once again, linked to it. An exam may not be taken over the course of 2 school days. So once a student sits for the test, that's when they must complete the test. They cannot pause or come back to it the next day. Student industry certification scores, including both failed and passed attempts and certificates, must be inputted into the teacher industry within 3 days. So once there's a link to the sheet right there for keeping track. It's our link. We must have that. All those records must be kept in there. That's where you'll see the 3 attempt scores, as well as the pass and fail, and to upload the student certification, not the grade report, but the actual certification to that link right there. Schools are expected to maintain an 80% pass rate for student certification testing. Please be aware that if you fall below a 50% pass rate, you will be put on a 3-year strategic plan, and that's a lot of paperwork, a lot of hassle. So please make sure that you are only sending students who have completed that 80% pass rate on the 3 practice tests, and that they are prepared to test and know what test they are taking. Right there is the Florida statute for that.
Hello, I'm Mary Graham, teacher on assignment with Career and Tech Ed, and I'm going to talk to you about the teacher and proctor conduct. So teacher and proctor conduct for our industry certifications is very similar to your conduct for any of the standardized tests, FSAs, AP, IB. It's as serious as any of those tests and should be taken so. You can find in-depth details on teacher and proctor conduct in the policies and procedures manual on page 7. We do ask that you review those in their entirety. I'm not going to go into every detail here, but we want to make sure that you are aware of all the expectations. All of our CAPE certification testing should take place in the designated CTE testing lab. Students should not be testing in the backup classrooms or in small rooms on the outside of your room. So all testing should be done in the designated CTE lab. The proctor for those tests is responsible for the testing environment. So proctors, please be aware of that testing environment. Any posters on the wall that might lead to invalidation of exams, we want to take those down beforehand. Make sure the room is free of distractions, cell phones, all of the same testing things that we work on with FSA. Teachers and proctors both are required to complete training before students sit for certification. So if you are listening to this or you are in our trainings, that serves as your training. There is a quiz after the training, so you are required to get a 100% on the quiz, and we do ask that that's completed by August 12th. There are 2 forms that are also required to be signed. The first form is from the School District of Lee County. It's a statement of educational integrity. It indicates that the teacher and the proctor are going to act with integrity and professionalism regarding CAPE certifications. The second form is a form that is required by the Florida Department of Education. It is our FCAPE-A form, which states the state statutes regarding CAPE certifications. And you'll see on the bottom of this slide, there is an action button there to request that you complete and submit both of those forms. They are linked there for you by August 12th, and those are going to go to Samantha Ackerson in the ACE department. Additionally, we want to make sure that you are aware in the event that there is a testing violation. There are forms that we need to submit to the Florida Department of Education. So if there is a testing violation, something a student does, if they have a cell phone in the middle of the test, if there's a violation with a teacher or a proctor, needs to be immediately reported to the Career and Technical Education Department. You can reach out to your TOA, the teacher on assignment for your cluster, or Rita Davis or Brian Grandsta, who are also in our department. This form must be completed and submitted to the Florida Department of Education within 5 days. So we want to make sure that that is acted on immediately.
Hi, my name is Juan Mejia, and I'm the application support specialist, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the certification testing and the issue reporting process. So I like to touch base on how to report any issues that you are currently having while you're CTE testing in the certification lab. So I would say the proctor, I would give it about 10 to 15 minutes to attempt to resolve the issue locally at the school site. It's either going to be either attempting to resume the exam, or if you talk with your school tech and see if there's any internet issue going on, or, you know, the ideal is to attempt to resume the exam the same day. So if that doesn't occur, you can always attempt to call me at my desk or email me. I may be able to respond within a few minutes. If not, call the CTA, the Certified Testing Agency. They may be able to diagnose and resolve the issue. All that information is on the Google tracking sheet under a tab called CTA Info. Now, if the issue is not resolved, please enter a help ticket through the help desk, help.leeschools.net, and please include the student name, student ID, school name, teacher name, proctor, and computer name. Also include the certification test with the issue, and please include the date and time. Now, once the test ticket, the help ticket is submitted, you cannot retest the student until I close the ticket. Failure to do so will result in the loss of CAPE funds. Now, if a testing agency does happen to invalidate the exam, the student may retest prior to the 20-day waiting period.
Hi, everyone. And just to reiterate the teacher proctor checklist, as previously stated, all of these items on the checklist can be located at www.leeschools.net/CTE. And again, you would just want to go through and read the policies and procedures manual, watch the video, take the quiz, get 100% on that with a pass rate, and email both forms, the proctor agreement to Samantha Ackerson, the intent form, and then familiarize yourself with the Google certification tracking sheet. And you would just want to make sure that you get all forms to Samantha Ackerson. Her email is listed right here by August 12th, 2022.
Okay, so now we're going to go through and look at the tracking sheets, and I'm going to walk you through how to fill those out. Just keep in mind that both fails and passes must be put into these tracking sheets within 3 days of the student testing. And please make sure you're attaching a copy of the certificate and not the score report. So in the tabs, in the tracking sheet, each teacher will have their own tab. These tracking sheets should be ready by October 1st. That way we have time to process your intent form and build these tracking sheets based on those responses. So when you go into the tracking sheet, you can click on this link here to get to those. So it'll come up to a folder that looks like this. You will click on this folder. It says 2223 student industry certification tracking. You will then find your school. Like I said, they'll probably not be ready until October 1st, excuse me. So for now, you can go in and look at this demo one. And then down here is where you'll find your tracking sheet. It'll say your school name and then 22-23 student industry certification. You'll click on that. This first tab that comes up, it is a copy of our records showing which certifications we have for you. So if you'll look at this line where Nicole Bailey is, we can see that she's a proctor and that she holds the certification for Prozo 801, 802, 803, 3130, and the ServSafe certification. Down here is where you'll also find the CTA info. That's everything that Juan just talked about. So this is going to be the partial bundles for Adobe. If you're not an Adobe teacher, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so here is the tracking sheet. You'll put in your school name. These will actually be drop downs, so you just have to click on it, click on your school's name. Same with the teacher, just click on it, your name will pop in. You will have to enter your own district ID number. And then you can move on to the grade level, the program that your course is in, the course number itself. These will be drop downs as well. So then you'll also need to manually input the student ID and the student's first name and last name. The reporting certification title will have a drop down menu. So you need to make sure that you are including the student ID name and first name and last name as it appears in Focus. So here's where there will be a drop down for 80% or higher on 3 practice tests. That's just a yes or no question. Here you'll enter whether they passed or failed, and you'll need to manually enter their final score. And then you'll also put in which attempt this was. Students can take an exam 3 times per school year with 3 weeks in between, which is that 20-day waiting period. They can test on the 21st day. And then manually input the exam date, and then the certificate image link is where you will link a copy of the student certificate. If we go back to this folder, you'll see it says teacher 1, student certs, teacher 2. These will all have the names of our CTE teachers. You'll click on that, and then that is where you will upload a copy of the student's certificate. You can then right click, and then there will be an option that says get link. You'll go back to your tracking sheet, and then you can paste that link right here. That is the best way to do so. That way we always have access to that student's certificate. Here it'll outline all of the stuff I just told you in the PowerPoint.
Again, our website, leeschools.net/CTE. I recommend that you bookmark this. It's very easy to get to easy access throughout the year. You can also find the CAPE Industry Certification information link here. On our CAPE Industry Certification information link, you'll find the links to the yearly CTE requirements and your tracking sheets. Everything on this page is linked for you. So we will work our way down the list, saving the tracking sheets for last. CTE needs the following items completed within the first 2 weeks of the school year. The Processes and Procedures Manual contains all the rules of CTE that must be followed in order to file certifications for CAPE funds. CTE has also created a PowerPoint to help highlight some of the most common questions that we receive pertaining to the processes and procedures manual. A 32-minute training video is also available that covers the basics of CTE. So each year you're going to be required to read the manual and attend a training. So once you've completed the training, you will need to take a quiz. You may retake the quiz as many times as needed, but you must score 100% if you plan to proctor an industry certification or offer one in your class. So after you've completed the training and quiz, you'll need to sign and return 2 integrity statements to CTE, again, within the first 2 weeks of the school year, if you're going to be proctoring or teaching an industry certification. And we've included the last bullet as a reference to you. This is a list of all of the industry certifications on the CAPE funding list for the school year. So this list changes every year, and the TOAs definitely do their best to offer you access to the industry certifications that best suit your students. And listed here again are the action items that need to be completed. So that'd be the intent form, the integrity form, and the quiz. And please stay on if you are offering or recording any Adobe certifications. At this point, everyone else is free to exit the training. Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to go through and look at the steps you would take if you are teaching an Adobe certification and how you would input those into the tracking sheet and kind of how to navigate these bundles. So when we go back to that tracking sheet, down here, you'll see, like I pointed out earlier, the 21-22 partial bundles tab. This will list all partial bundles from the previous year. Since last year is the only one that applies, that's why it only says 21-22. We will try to remove the partial bundles from this list as they're used to complete bundles. Adobe individual certifications will be entered here on this 22-23 almost Adobe bundle sheet. There's one almost Adobe bundle per school. So if you have multiple teachers teaching these Adobe certifications, just everyone can go ahead and list them here. This is helpful if a student earns one Adobe bundle with one teacher and, one Adobe certificate with one teacher and the other with another teacher. And please include all passes and failures. Okay, so each Adobe teacher will have their own tab over here on the bottom, aside from the bundle certificate, the bundle tab. So you will use your own individual sheet to report Adobe bundle outcomes, not only the individual exams. And again, teachers are responsible for entering student scores within 3 days. And you're also responsible for the accuracy of your data. So in this process, it's very much like the other one. You'll enter your school, the teacher's name, the teacher's ID, and the grade of the student. You'll then go in and select the program number, course number, and name that the student is testing in. Enter the student's ID and first and last name as it appears in focus. Sorry. Okay, so then you will choose which certificate it was or what bundle. If you don't see the certification that they tested on, please contact me at samantha.a@leeschools.net. And again, they'll need to take the 3 practice tests and get an 80% or higher. These can be teacher made, but you must document them either way. You'll then put in if it was a pass or a fail for the bundle, the final score for the last test they took. So if it was they did Photoshop and InDesign and they did InDesign second, you would put in the InDesign score there. And you don't need to enter bundle fail more than once. And you can go ahead and leave the attempt column empty. So columns R and S over here. These are other teacher and other school. This is where if a student took the test at a different school with a different teacher, or with a different teacher, excuse me, you would put the name of that teacher and the name of that school. If a student does not remember their Certiport login, please contact Certiport for assistance in recovering their account. And this helps to make sure that you can access their account to eliminate duplicate accounts. So once I get that data entered into Focus, I will lock this whole sheet and I'll put the date here. If the information is locked and you can't get into it and you need to change something, please either leave a comment here or email me directly. Okay, so P and Q columns is where you will put the certification image links. So like the example earlier, if the student did Photoshop and InDesign, we would put the Photoshop here and then InDesign here. The Adobe bundle, only one teacher for both column. That just means that the student earned both of their certificates with one teacher. And we will save these in the same fashion we did with the other ones in one of these folders, and it'll have your name on it, the teacher's name. And then you'll get the link from there and link them right here. Okay. So again, all those steps are written out here in the policies and procedures slideshow. If you need any assistance with your industry certification tracking sheets, please contact either myself, Samantha A at leeschools.net, or Nicole Bailey, and she can help as well.
Again, this is the teacher Proctor checklist. We have the website listed there where you can find all these items. So I'll have the manual, the video, where you can take the quiz. And then just make sure once you have completed the quiz with 100%, you've done the agreements and the intent forms, that you get all of that information for the forms over to Samantha Ackerson no later than August 12th.
This is the last, well, second to last slide, but this covers again the call to actions that we needed you to do as soon as this training is over. A link to your intent form, the 2 integrity statement forms we need you to sign, and a link to the policies and procedures quiz. And just one more reminder, we have CTE trainings offered throughout the year. Check PeopleSoft for those. We'll also send those out on our CTE updates. And if you sign up for any of these, it also will get you an in-service credit. Thank you for joining us. That was our training. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any one of us with your questions. Have a great year.